to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. Come on up to the house. There's no light in the tunnel, no eyes in the fire. Come on up to the house, and you're singing lead soprano in a junk man's choir. You got to come on up to the house. Does life seem nasty, brutish and short? Come on up to the house. The seas are stormy and you can't find no port. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. Come on up to the house. There is nothing in the world that you can do. Come on up to the house. You've been whipped by the forces that are inside of you. Come on up to the house. Well, you're high on top of your mountain of woe. Come on up to the house. And you know you should surrender, but you can't let it go. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. Come on up to the house. Yeah, you better come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee, and happy fake spring. I'm Reverend Jennifer Nordstrom. My pronouns are she and her. I'm honored to serve this congregation as your senior minister. Our opening words this morning are the poem On Angels by Czesław Miłosz. All was taken from you, white dresses, wings, even existence, yet I believe in you, messengers. There, where the world is turned inside out, a heavy fabric embroidered with stars and beasts, you stroll, inspecting the trustworthy seams. Short is your stay here. Now and then at a matinal hour, if the sky is clear, in a melody repeated by a bird, or in the smell of apples at the close of day when the light makes the orchards magic. They say somebody has invented you, but to me this does not sound convincing, as we humans invented ourselves as well. The voice, No doubt it is valid proof, as it can only belong to radiant creatures, weightless and winged. After all, why not? Girdled with the lightning. I have heard that voice many a time when asleep, and what is strange, I understood, more or less, an order or an appeal in an unearthly tongue. Day draws near. Another one. Do what you can. Will you please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 38, Morning Has Broken. I'm going to invite Stacy and Jeremy Kanan to come up to continue with our pledge drive testimonials. This is week 2 of our pledge drive, and I'm sure you're all rushing to get your pledges in, and if not, let Stacy and Jeremy talk to you about it.
Good morning. As I hesitantly entered this congregation more years ago than I'd like to admit, I realized that as I wrote this the other day of just how long it's been. I wasn't looking for a church, I wasn't looking for an organization, but I was looking for community, and I had responded to an invitation from a friend of mine. I was greeted, as many of us have been, with open arms and welcomely and warmly. And a couple years into my being here, I wasn't attending services, I was only doing young adults activities. I questioned whether I really belonged, and so I stepped away for a bit. And as soon as I stepped back, I was told how much I had been missed and how happy people were to see me. A couple years later, when Jeremy and I were together, we were asked to chair the young adults group ourselves. And when I responded that I couldn't do that because I wasn't a member, I was very tongue-in-cheekly informed, we can fix that. We have since participated in numerous committees, both actively and chairing them, and every time we have participated in those or the lovely social functions that we do through this congregation, such as circle suppers and feast for funds, we grow our circle wider and we meet more wonderful people of this congregation that embrace and encourage us.
And so, when our first child was born, it challenged our conceptualization of what we were contributing to. Now we were bringing a new human into this community, and I'll let you in on a secret, kids are kind of expensive. Would we need to reduce our pledge to help with those costs? But during the conversation, we quickly realized that it was a community we did not build, and it would outlive us. The pledge was not a fee we were paying into or even a simple gift to a worthy organization. It was an investment into a community that was invested in before us, and that community should thrive for our children and others' children. So at that time, we made our first major increase as a family with his birth, and repeated later with our daughter's arrival.
And just as our participation has expanded our circle and introduced us to so many lovely people, our kids have been given that gift too. They have been embraced wholeheartedly, and as they have aged and grown, been constantly supported, acknowledged, and encouraged. They both have adults and children that they have bonded with and seek out every time we're here. Thank you, Desiree, for letting my daughter boing your hair every week. But as the questions get harder, as our kids head towards being middle schoolers and teenagers, they don't have to come to us for those answers. They can come to any of you.
So coming out of the pandemic, we felt good about what we were pledging. Those milestones challenging our financial commitments to the church were seemingly behind us, at least for a while. And then one day, Sarah Richards met with us for the Forge Our Future campaign. And the church was dreaming big and asking people to step up and help fund that dream. We deliberated what we could afford to give. Again, we felt good, kind of dare I say comfortable, and so we chose to instead be uncomfortable. It was a temporary drive after all, so that choice of ours to double our contributions for the 3 years was not forever, and graciously we were not alone. The church as a whole stepped up and helped make that dream a reality. But when it was over, we realized that the sacrifices made for those contributions were reasonable. And so we elected to increase our pledge by 1/3 this year because we had proved to ourselves that we could, and so we should. And so in the words of the late great author Stan Lee, which is often misquoted, with great power comes great responsibility, but that's paraphrasing his original words, which were, with great power there must also come great responsibility. And we often leave off the there must also come, but it's crucial. It reminds us that responsibility requires action, requires sacrifice, and it's not inevitable.
I invite you to join me in a time of contemplation now, which will be followed by silence, followed by the seated singing of hymn 123, Spirit of Life. Take a minute to find yourself in your body, however you do that. Maybe you check in with your breath. Maybe you can check in with the vertebrae in your spine. Maybe you can check in with the crown of your head and let it reach up into all that is. Spirit of life and love, Holy One of our being and our becoming, that which is sacred within, among, and beyond us. Draw near, life. Draw near, love. Wrap around weary spirits. Bring comfort to all those who are suffering, all those who are grieving. Love, may all those here today feel love, whether from friend or family, community, or the earth herself. Let the warmth of the sun soothe the aching bones, or the twitter of the birds bring hope. May each of us receive nourishment for the journey. May it be so.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee. I'm Hannah Fox, she, they pronouns, and I am pleased to serve as your worship associate this morning. We are a faith community of many identities. We welcome people of all genders, sexualities, ages, races, ethnicities, histories, abilities, and bodies. We welcome your mind, your heart, and your spirit. We welcome all you are carrying with you today and all your heart longs to set down. We welcome all the people watching online as we live stream this service. Hello, online folks. We enthusiastically welcome guests joining us today. If you are a guest visiting in person and want to connect with us, please fill out a welcome card located in the pew rack in front of you and drop it in the offering plates that will come around in a few minutes. If you are visiting online and want to connect, a link to connect with us will soon appear in the chat for you to click on and fill out. Someone from church will reach out to connect with you. After the service, we invite you to join us for a social hour across the hall in the Leanhouse Common Room. Some accessibility notes: hearing assist devices and large print hymnals and orders of service are at the back of the sanctuary, along with worship activity bags for children and anyone who wants them. There is a fragrance-free area in the front right pews. And if you're watching online, you can enable YouTube's closed captioning on your viewing device. Only one announcement today. Do you identify as you, or a friend of the church, and male, cisgender, transgender, gender nonconforming? If so, you're warmly invited to join a group that provides an open space for dialogue, connection, and reflection on the first Sunday of each month from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Our next meeting will be on March 1st in the basement Young Room. Participants with the first names starting with K to Z are invited to bring a contribution for a potluck-style light lunch. Now I invite you to share in our First Church purpose by joining me in a unison affirmation of our mission, which is printed in your order of service. We gather to nurture the spirit, engage the mind, and inspire action.
We do have a new member ceremony today, but all of our new members elected to join together at 11. So if you'd like to greet them, please come say hi at 11. Or if you want to come back for our noon coffee hour, there will be treats and you can say hi then. But hopefully as you see them throughout First Church, you'll say hello and introduce yourselves.
Every week, we practice our values through sharing our resources. Our pledges are at the core of our spiritual practice of generosity. In addition, the church shares half of all non-pledged cash in our offering plate with a community organization, practicing our value of interdependence. Today, we share the plate with the Black String Triage Ensemble, an all-volunteer Black and Latinx string orchestra that operates as a spiritual and emotional medic for communities of color in the immediate aftermath of tragic events. The offering will now be gratefully received as we sing seated hymn number 348. It's called Guide My Feet, which is a traditional African-American spiritual. I invite all children, youth, and faith formation volunteers to sing the first verse, then follow Reverend Kimberly to the Leanhouse Common Room, and then downstairs for faith formation. If your child needs to check in, please join them. May the practice of giving bring us joy.
Guide
Belonging has always been important to me. Not necessarily fitting in, because I've always been a little different, but belonging. To a place, to a group of people, somewhere I feel accepted for who I am, somewhere I feel held up by others during dark times. I think it's the search for community that has led me to so many different places in this world. I had so rarely found true belonging here in the US, so maybe my values just weren't aligned with the culture? Anyway, in November of 2016, I was on my way to Europe, looking forward to adventure and integration into a new community. After a few years trying to learn the local language, the COVID pandemic hit. This meant that in a place where the locals were not receptive of foreigners' efforts to learn the language, everything had become even harder. Now there were masks covering people's lips. Don't even think about reading them anymore. And there were literal sound barriers too. Those plexiglass shields that I have to duck under to understand in English now prevented most sound from getting through. These were times for warriors. Even during these challenges, I persevered, practicing the local language at every opportunity I got. After all, you learn to speak a new language through immersion, not in a vacuum. One day, I stopped by a local shop to buy some materials for our business. We'd been purchasing items there for several months, and I'd come to recognize some of the employees. When I went to check out, as always, I tried to complete the transaction in the local language. Because of those sound barriers, I couldn't understand the clerk. Not the first time, and not when I asked him to repeat himself. Recognizing that I would not be successful with him, I asked him in the local language if we could please switch to English. He laughed in my face and told me that I have to speak English the first time because he couldn't repeat himself 10 times. As calmly as I could, I responded that you only learn a language by practicing it. He then told me it was simply funny because I so clearly did not speak the language. I responded that I did not find it funny and left the store after paying for my items. Now, I was not raised to be confrontational. I went back to my car and sat there for a few minutes, listening to my rapidly beating heart. The way he had treated me felt like a swift kick to the gut. As I sat there thinking, I realized something that has stuck with me ever since. I had a right to be there, not because of any of my identities, but because I inherently have value as a human being. Even though I was inconvenient to this person, no one should ever be made to feel small or excluded for their lack of conformity. It is our differences that make us smarter and stronger as a community. I decided I had to go back inside and advocate for myself. This was neither the first nor the last of such instances experiencing whatever you'd like to call it during my time in Europe. I usually call it discrimination, xenophobia, or relational trauma. It is not specific to the country or region where I was living. Integration is a challenge everywhere. I did not find a sense of belonging in Europe, but struggle and distress instead. I do not lament these experiences, though, because without them, I would not have been called to grow and become a stronger version of myself. These experiences of interpersonal conflict have also connected me to other people and the human experience in a way that I could not imagine having happened otherwise. They taught me that it is not necessarily what we experience, but the meaning we make out of it that's important. Suffering can serve a purpose. It certainly did for me. Today, with everything that's happening in the world, it can be easy to lose faith in people. Even though being in community still makes me feel activated sometimes, I know that I have to keep trying. And the resilience that I have developed is what allows me to do so. I'm convinced that the time spent in community is not only the path forward for me personally through healing from my experiences, but also for society as a whole. True transformation often includes conflict and distress, and it is essential that we learn to see each other's humanity and come to rely on one another if we want to create a shared resilience that will carry us through to the other side.
I was down for so long. Everything I did was wrong. And I found fault in everyone but me. I was hurt and alone. Could not find my way back home. Broke down and hungry, too tired to moan. Then I heard somebody calling my name, saying ain't no need to be ashamed. I found out that the door was always open. Yes, it was. I was trapped in my mind, a prisoner of my own design, lost in a world of confusion. Yes, I was. I was there by myself, couldn't find no help nowhere else. Thought I'd call up the hotline, but there was nobody there. Then I heard somebody calling my name, saying ain't no need to be ashamed. I found out that the door was always open. Yes, it was. Then I heard somebody calling my name, saying ain't no need to be ashamed. And I found out that the door was always open. Oh yeah. Somebody calling my name, saying ain't no need to be ashamed. I found out that the door was always open. Oh, yes, it was. I heard somebody calling my name, saying ain't no need to be ashamed, not ashamed. I found out that the door was always open. Yes, it was. Now sing it again. I found out that the door was always open. Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah. I found out that the door was always open. Yes, it was. Yes, it was open. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If someone has told you recently, you're so resilient, I'm so sorry. Resilient is not a label you receive after a long period of comfort and ease. When someone says you're so resilient, it's usually code for you've been going through hell. Despite the shiny depictions that we often see on social media, most of us have been through some sort of hell. Maybe you came in this morning because you're in the middle of it right now. If so, welcome. May you rest. You're not alone. In a life of mortals among mortals, a life where we, fallible humans, are just fully surrounded by other fallible humans, none of us is untouched by loss or by suffering. There is this Buddhist story about a woman whose beloved died. And she was so traumatized, so distraught by her beloved's death that she could not accept that he had died. She was convinced that he just needed some medicine in order to be revived. So she knocked on every single door in her village, asking if anyone had the medicine to bring her beloved back to life. Eventually, she came to the door of the Buddha, and she begged him for help. She said, "Please, my beloved is out of it. He's asleep. He's passed out. I just need some medicine, just the right medicine, and I know he will come back to me." The Buddha could see what was happening. He saw her beloved who was dead. He saw her grief and her denial, and he said, "Yes, I can help you." The Buddha told the woman that he would be able to revive her beloved if she could bring him a mustard seed. And at first the woman was thrilled. "Okay, yes, I can do that. Mustard seeds, they're very common. I'm going to go find one right now. It's all good." But the Buddha hadn't finished his sentence yet. He said, "Bring me a mustard seed from a home in this village that has not been touched by death." Okay, the woman was still convinced that she could do it, and so she went from house to house in the village, knocking on doors, looking for a mustard seed. And yet at every home that she came to, while they had mustard seeds, she also had to ask them if any of their loved ones had died. And over again, she heard her neighbors' stories, their stories of loss and grief. She heard their stories and she connected with them, but she could not find a mustard seed from a home where no one had been touched by death. She returned to the Buddha bewildered. She did not have that mustard seed that would bring her beloved back to life, and yet when she returned, she felt better. She felt newly connected to other people. Before she had gone knocking on her neighbor's doors, she was alone in her grief. And even though her loss was not gone, now she was held in that loss by her community. There's a tree that is living in the Bahrainian desert. It's 30 feet tall, and it's wide, and it has lush green leaves that make shade in a desert. It's been living there for 400 years. It stands alone amidst the cracked sand and the thirsty beans, and in the shade of that beautiful Bahrainian tree, you can look for miles in every direction and not see another living tree. The desert where this tree has lived for more than 400 years, it gets less than 150 millimeters of rain per year. For reference, that's less rain than we get here in 1 month. And it's way less rain than a tree needs to live. And the nearest water source is miles and miles away from the place where it is standing. Some of the locals say that this tree is the last survivor of the Garden of Eden. Other locals say that it is protected by the Babylonian god Enki. Still others say that it sucks water from the sand itself, finding sweet nectar in the rocks. They all call it the tree of life. Now, most plants that live in the desert, they survive by conserving their water. But the tree of life is a gaff tree, which has a very different survival strategy. Gaff trees are known for their powerful taproot, a deep, deep root system that seeks ancient sources of water deep in the earth. Scientists believe that the tree of life has a root system that goes down more than 150 feet. This is a tree that's only 30 feet tall. The root system goes down more than 150 feet. That's more than 15 stories. And there it taps into an ancient water source that is deeper than the human beings have dug. Sometimes going door to door, knocking for a mustard seed of faith, does not yield results. But even in the dustiest of deserts where there is no rainfall to be found and the nearest river is miles away, there is still living water deep, deep, deep in the earth. Sometimes community can feel really far away, and then gentle mists of human connection are running dry. And yet even there, in that place of drought, there is still water. With deep spiritual practice, with breath that drops you down into the wholeness of being, you can go deeper than the soul self and drop into the divine and come up into the larger love that connects all that is. It's larger than any human being. It encompasses the whole. To be honest with you, in my worst moments, I can't drink rainwater. In the bad moments, yes, I can reach out into my community, connect with other human beings, but when I am in the desert of despair, for some reason, probably my childhood, I don't trust the rain around me. I have to go and sit on the ground and tap into the root, tap into the source of water, find the closeness with the divine that brings me up into all that is. There is a well of resilience. There are deep, deep and mysterious reserves of life that are available to you no matter what desert you are in, no matter the weather around you. My sister texted me this week to tell me how grateful she is for this first glorious fake spring that we are in right now. And we know it's a spring of deception. We've lived here long enough to know that even in this climate-changed early arrival of the first wave of spring, winter's punch will return, probably a few times, sorry to say it. But this gasp of air that we're in, this rush of bird song, this water in the desert, sun in the ice, it matters. Take a moment, enjoy it. Drink it in, let the sun touch your skin, celebrate every single win. In this moment, we must nourish ourselves for the journey. We are not through hell yet. I am so sorry to say, but it is good to have a very brief respite to fuel the next leg of our movement forward. A young woman named Bhakti Sharma from Rajasthan, India, holds a number of world records for open water swimming, including the longest swim in the Antarctic Ocean. Bhakti Sharma swam through that freezing water, pushing away ice. In just a swimsuit and goggles. Now, in Rajasthan, where Bhakti Sharma is from, it does not even snow. The lows in the winters are in the 50s. And so Bhakti prepared herself for this freezing swim in the cold. And she remembers those first few minutes of swimming, when the ice and the freezing water was so shocking to her system. But even worse than that in her experience was the density of the water. It was so cold, it was thick. Every stroke, she said, felt like I was pulling through oil. The most dangerous part of her swim, though, according to her, was her own thoughts. In swimming, Bhakti explained, you cannot hear, you can't talk, and you can only see what is right in front of you. So the sound of your own mind is loud. It's loud. When Bhakti swam across the English Channel in 13 hours and 55 minutes, she got stuck in hour 10. She had been making progress, swimming across the English Channel for 10 hours, and then she got stuck in the same place for an hour and a half. In that stuck place, in the fear place, the most dangerous demons for Bhakti were not the current or the cold, but the voices in her head telling her she's not good enough, she's not strong enough, she hasn't practiced enough, she should just give up. That internal battle, the one in her own mind, was where she would win or lose her struggle. So Bhakti learned over the years of open swimming how to sort through her internal thoughts and focus on the voice that says, just one more stroke. You can do it, just one more stroke. When she's swimming through the Antarctic Ocean or across the English Channel, she connects with the voice in her head that gives her courage. In the English Channel, she particularly found strength through connecting with the positive parts of her identity. She's a proud daughter. She's a strong woman. She's a proud Indian. She's swimming for her people. In the Antarctic Ocean, though, Bhakti considered giving up much sooner. Not after 10 hours, but after 10 minutes. In that place, in the place of freezing water and ice, she had to focus on the voice that said, just one more stroke. She could not imagine the whole 45 minutes ahead of her in that freezing, ice-filled oil water, but she could take one more stroke, and then she could take another, and then another. And then a penguin swam up next to her, and she said, oh, look, a penguin is here cheering you on. And she connected with another being, one that's made for the Antarctic Ocean. And she didn't feel alone any longer. And then she looked up and she saw her crew next to her on the boat cheering her on, and she drew strength from them. One more stroke, and then another and another. And 41 minutes later, she secured the world record for the longest Antarctic swim. The hell that we are going through right now collectively, and whatever you are going through individually is not necessarily something we can choose. We are not in control of this freezing swim through oil. We cannot determine when or if it might rain in the desert. Morning is coming, though. And in this liminal space between hell and the other side, we can do what we can. We can choose to take one more stroke, one more step, one more movement towards the holy and the whole. Stopping is not an option, or at least it's not a good one. It would freeze us here in hell, keep us stuck in our 10 in the hallway between where we've been and where we're going. So no, let's not stop. Let's just keep swimming. One more stroke. And if we need to, if we can't trust the desert mist, we can drop down into the taproot and drink from the water that always lies beneath the desert. And if we can trust, we can reach out wide and connect with community. We can knock on every door and listen to every story in the village until we feel connected again. I promise you, you're not alone. We are not alone. And we're going to get through this together, one step, one stroke, one movement forward at a time. Amen.
Knives are being thrown all directions now. I wonder how I dodge them, kinda wondering how. I'm battered like a fighter in the 15th round, pummeled and blackened toward the bloody ground. I got one thing to tell you, telling you this for free. If you think I'm giving in, you really don't know me. Let me tell you now, if you're going through hell, if you're going through hell, oh, keep going. If you're going through hell, if you're going through hell, getting ugly, and that includes you. Twisting and turning the night, feel the pain through and through. Standing my ground, taking the pain, feeling the feeling, again and again. I got one thing to tell you, telling you this for free. If you think I'm giving in, you really don't know me. Let me tell you now, if you're going through hell, if you're going through hell,
dear ones, the reserves of life are mysterious and ample. If you're going through hell, tap them. Through community, through spiritual practice, through connection, whether it's with other human beings or whether it's with life itself. And then take one more step to the other side. Will you please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 168, the traditional African American spiritual, One More Step.